Well, here we are, back again. My name's Brad. Just put water everywhere. Okay, let's try that again. How's it going? My name's Brad Hart, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk, the show where I talk to you about what I've seen happen in the week, what's been happening, and what's been really on my mind. And on today's episode, we're talking about some of the biggest news in kind of the social media scene at the moment. We're discussing Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury once again, this time with a bit of a different twist. Before we get kick-started in the episode, do me a favour, pull yourself up a chair, grab yourself a drink, and welcome to Let's Talk. Now let's break this down. Where have you been? What have you been doing? What have you been up to? And I've been up to a lot, really. I've been up to a lot. I've been doing a lot. And within the midst of everything I've been doing, I've been learning. I've recently been speaking to a friend of mine called Bayo, a YouTuber also based in the UK, who's recently just hit 100,000 subscribers, a good friend of mine, who's been giving me hints, tips and bits of advice on growing my YouTube channel. And I'm getting excited to implement this stuff. And January is the time, next year is the year for this channel to grow. But while I've been learning, while I've been educating, and while I've been trying to get surrounded with Christmas presents to get the festivities in order, some big news has come across us. Tommy Fury, brother of Tyson Fury, boyfriend of Molly May, and pretty boxer boy, has pulled out of the fight against Jake Paul. Probably the most anticipated fight of this year just gone. Power, of course. Actual fights like Fury Wilder, but it's kind of the most anticipated social media fight of a while, and he's pulled out. He's backed out. He's done a runner. Now, I know what you're thinking. Brad, why? What's happened? Well, let me tell you. Let me break it down for you. Tommy recently came out a few weeks ago, apparently, and said that he'd had an injury during boxing. He'd heard a crack within his chest, and he supposedly broken a rib. Alongside this, he'd also had a bacterial infection, and combination of these two together basically came to him being too much for him to box. Now, what's interesting is there was actually an interview where Tommy said, "I don't care if I get ill. I don't care if I break a bone. I'm fighting Jake." Now, of course, this was said to pump up the fight, get the hype up there, get it going. And of course, we've got to think about the health first of these boxers, but Tommy's now backed out. And that gets me thinking, who's going to step in? Who's going to step in? Who's fighting Jake? Well, I almost feel like we're going back in time a bit, because now we've got Tyron Woodley against Jake Paul again, a retired UFC athlete, which I don't really think is bringing too much to the table, and he's not really going to be bringing much eye-catching entertainment to the world of the fighting scene. I don't think it's the one. I don't think it's the best. And personally, I don't know. I'd like to see an actual fighter fight Jake. Well, that's why I was so excited for Tommy. Like, come on, this is getting ridiculous now. You know, there was this hype, there was all this building up, there was the Tommy Fumbles name, there was the tattoo, there was this and this. Jake Paul built up all the clout, managed to get the contract over the line, everything signed, and Tommy's backed out for medical reasons. Now, Tommy's saying he wants the fight to come back on, he wants it picked back up where it left off, and he wants the fight early next year. Is it going to happen? The thing is, we've got to think now, Jake's in this weird power position, really. He's in this strange power position of he's not a boxer, but he's fighting and he's earning as much as many boxers, if sometimes more, majority of people in the UFC, the Ultimate Fighting Championship. And if you start breaking it down and thinking about it, Jake's kind of got the boxing world, the younger generation of the boxing world in his grip. And if he holds his grip too long, we could start seeing him fight actual boxers, which I don't really want to see. I'm talking, he wants to fight Canelo Alvarez. He wants to fight Mayweather. I know Logan did Mayweather, but I just don't know. When Logan did Floyd Mayweather, it didn't hurt me as much because I kind of knew it was ridiculous. Because Logan's not claiming to be a boxer, but Jake is. Jake wants to be the world best, wants to be the WBC champion, he wants to be the world champion of all the belts. He wants to be the top dog. And he wants to go against Canelo Alvarez. It's not happening. Because when I say I'm excited and when I say I'm pumped and I want to see him fight a boxer, I'm thinking I want to see him fight Tommy. Can't speak. I want to see him fight Tommy. I wanted to see him fight lower level boxers, which are still fantastic athletes. But someone that he's actually got, it's a bit even matched. Because I'm kind of getting to grow and learn that Jake's actually a good boxer. It's making me a bit in denial as well. I don't really want to admit he's a good boxer. I want to kind of just keep Jake to his YouTube and stuff like that, but he's knocking people out regardless of who they are. He's knocking people out in a fast, efficient manner. His footwork's good. He's got fast hands. He's giving some of these guys a run for their money. The boxing world is definitely growing. The boxing world is definitely evolving. The fighting world is definitely growing, and it all started with KSI and Joe Weller. We got on the scene of Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather, and now we're on the YouTube boxing scene where the YouTubers are fighting actual boxers. And this pull out by Tommy doesn't look good on Tommy's side at all. Is Tommy running? I doubt he's running. But it was interesting because prior to the fight, you know, Tommy and the Furies knew Tommy was going to win. He had what it takes. He was going to come in. He was going to slip the shots. He was going to knock Jake out. The fight gets signed. I don't know. And then everyone starts backing off and getting a bit scared. Now, if we put this hand in hand, realistically, it's quite weird. Because we've had Jake Paul recently also refuse to get drug tested to take part in the fight, which was actually in the contract. He didn't want that in the contract. So what's he taking? Obviously, it may be recreational, it may be sport enhancing. I'm probably going sport enhancing, as many are saying that he's probably on, you know, steroids, things like that. I don't know. I think it's an interesting to process, because if he is, does he feel like he needs that to excel, I can't speak today, excel his boxing career? We've got athletes out there training day in, day out, running, doing everything they can, eating perfectly, who aren't taking anything, supposedly, passing at least the drug tests. And then we've got Jake here refusing to do it. You come into the boxing industry, mate, you live by the rules, you take by the rules. Don't go avoiding drug tests, because it will catch up with you. It will. It just will. Speaking of boxing, as I mentioned last week, I do have a boxing fight coming up, a charity white collar fight coming up back in around March time, where I'll be throwing a few jabs, I'll be slipping a fit, I'll be using the footwork, and I'm raising money for cancer research. If you are interested in seeing more about the fundraising I'm doing, please do click down below on the link. Throw a penny in, throw a few pounds in, whatever it is, even if you just share the link, it's a massive help, as it's a great charity going and supporting millions all over the world. But most importantly, I want you to do me a favour. Comment down below what you think about the Tommy Fury, the Jake Paul fight, why it's fell apart. Are you excited to see Woodley in the fight soon? Let me know down in the comments below. But thanks again for watching another video. Make sure you give me a thumbs up and hit the bell notification, because I love doing content like this and I want to keep doing more like this, and the thumbs up and subscribes really do help. So hit that subscribe button and I'll see you soon.